Hey, what's up, guys? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the GunterMan show. We only know what we know. Guys, today is a special day. We have online with us today someone who interviewed me like maybe a couple months back, or no, early this year, like in February, somewhere along the line, where I had the opportunity to share about life is all about relationships with her audience, where I was online in North Carolina because she runs and has her radio show, Fresh Start Focus, where she focuses on the community, where she had me come on and share my perspectives about life, love, living, relationships. Well, today is my opportunity to bring her to you. That's right, bringing her live to you on screen with us for her to share her perspectives, to share her heart, to let you know how she continues to help her community to focus in on rejuvenating the body and to stimulating the mind and to catapult people into purpose. You know, to be able to focus their power into having a real impact. Her name is T.D. Lovin. That's right. I believe you can still catch her live on Saturday morning Eastern Standard Time at 10 a.m. on radio WDRB. There you go. I'll make sure I get that right. WDRB. WDRB. That's right. TD Lovin, guys. But before we bring her on, of course, I like to share a little bit about what's been going on in my week. And of course, to remind you guys, this show is all about you being a part of it. It's you being able to come on screen with us and share about the things that you have learned. See, we only know what we know. And what we know isn't everything there is to know. So I'm always hoping, I'm always endeavoring to not only be able to share what I know with the world around me, but for me to get built up also. For someone to get online and to share their perspective after hearing us share about the things that we've seen, the things that we have endeavored to take on and accomplish in our lives. And of course, when you get online, just talk. Just talk about the things that have moved you, or you can simply just springboard off of the things that you heard one of us say. That's right. It is your time to no longer sit in a situation where you feel that you can't get out of it. To sit in a situation where you feel that there's no one that's going to understand. To sit in a situation where you feel powerless. To sit in a situation where last year looks just like this year. Well, to me, there's nothing like this 2020. Is 2020 a blessing or is it a curse? We lost a lot of people. So to a lot of people, it will feel like a curse. But for some people, in the midst of people passing away, getting sick, losing their taste buds, their sense of smell, you'll have those people out there who are taking this time to start anew, to renew their mind to a new way of living, to understand that you determine, you determine where you go with all of this. What life will actually be is specifically detailed, completely up to you. You and only you. Yes, life happens. And for some of us, it's been downright horrible. It's downright horrible. However, not but however, the way you live, the way you take on life, the way you choose to live, despite what has happened, the things that you have experienced, despite all that, comes down to you and the decisions you make. It's hard to pull away from the way you've been brought up or led to think about specific things. It's hard to pull away, but through life and through traveling and through engaging with people across the world, you'll be able to free up. You'll be able to free yourself up from a life that's just following the crowd. It'll allow you to Start developing perspectives that you know actually work. It's not simply taking someone's word for it. It's you getting to the place in your life where you're like, yes, yes, I can. And I know that it's up to me to pull myself out of this. Now, once again, remember, getting help is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Don't think that you should be able to take on the whole entire world by yourself. We have been designed, we have been so designed to be able to engage with people, to interact with people, to glean from people, to pull from people, to be pushed by people, to reach new heights. The minute you decide that your problem is too personal, too hard, that you want to just keep it to yourself and figure it out on your own, you're setting yourself up to lose. You're setting yourself up to not to succeed. Success comes with people. Remember, there are no self-made millionaires. Everyone needs someone to reach new heights. And that's what this show is all about. We only know what we know. But what we know isn't everything there is to know. This is your opportunity to break the cycle, to step out of your comfort zone. Step out. Real living only begins outside of your comfort zone. It's the truth. It's the truth. You gotta do new things. You gotta try new things. And like I'll speak about my life and the failures that I've had. Like I say, what do I have to lose by actually living the real me? What do I have to lose by actually endeavoring to live the real me, the me that I know, that I dream about, that I think about? What do I have to lose? I've been heartbroken before. I lost my money twice, all my money twice in situations. What? Treated poorly, underappreciated, treated myself poorly, made bad decisions that has hurt me, that has allowed me and caused me to focus on negativity for way too long. That's right. You gotta break these cycles. You gotta break those cycles because it's going to allow you. It's gonna allow you to see. It's gonna allow you to see what you can actually do if you dare to live your true self, to show up and to operate from the position of I can do, and to understand that you don't have to wait for wonderful things to come to pass. You should be able to live in the happiness that is found in your now, exactly the way you are, understanding that you are already enough, that you do not need someone else to confirm and to affirm you, to let you know that you're amazing. I am a believer in God. And because I believe in God, I have the opportunity to allow His word to shape how I see myself, despite what I've experienced. Despite what I've experienced in my life, I can go to the word and be reminded of how I can be truly amazing, how I can be filled with, how I can move and operate in power with authority. But not everyone has this truth. Not everyone has these systems of belief, and thank God I do. That's right. And as we continue to live, as we continue to engage, we have the opportunity to renew our minds up to the standard of the word. I heard earlier this week, Monday, a teaching by Pastor Stephen Furtick. Pastor Stephen Furtick. Well, it just so happens that T.D. Levin actually goes to his church. Yeah, she's a part of Elevation Church. Well, I heard a teaching on Monday that actually rocked my world. It talked about wasted rain. I won't get into the details of it, but I would highly recommend that you YouTube it, Wasted Rain, and give a listen to it, because it's going to remind you of how many blessings God has bestowed upon you, had showered down on you over and over and over again, how he has constantly rained wonderful blessings on you, where you could today, right now, in this very moment, set aside your past. Set aside the situations that you have gone through and allow you to utilize the rain that has covered you, that is constantly coming down. The rain of the word. The word is the rain. The word is the rain. And that when that rain falls, that is filled with power, that is filled with purpose. Not one jot and tittle of the word is wasted rain. Has a reason for it all. All the situations that you've been through in your past. If you grab your mind, if you give it to him, if you tell people about it, that same hard situation you've been going through or have gone through will allow you to reach your next level. That same hurt, that same disappointment will allow you to be catapulted to the next level. To a next level of life, living, and true liberty, freedom, where you actually see yourself as a beautiful being, where you actually can see yourself accomplishing amazing things. Because like I said, what do you have to lose if you've been heartbroken before? If you had great loss before, what do you have to lose by daring to live the truth that sits inside you, the purpose that is inside you? What do you have to lose? Nothing. You have nothing to lose, but you have all to gain. There's so much to gain if you were to step out and live your truth. Now, your truth might not be a capital T, but your truth to you could be a small t. And that truth means how you see things. That truth can be exactly what you need to push you forward or to pull you away from situations. That's right. You have that ability. The life you live, no matter what has happened to you, is a life you decided to live. It's hard. But understanding that with those decisions has gotten you to the place that you are seeing your world the way it is. Well, with those same decision, or the ability to decide, should I say, will allow you to be placed in new positions, will allow you to be introduced to new people, to interact with people that are endeavoring to do the things that you might have dreamed about. You know, this is the age of information, where the things you think about have value. The things you have to offer have value. That's right. So tonight, once again, here is your opportunity to get outside your comfort zone. Dare to say right now that I'm willing to get on screen with GunterMan and TD Lovin and to ask a question, or to share my thoughts on a specific thing that I've seen bless my life. That's right. That is right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here's your opportunity to meet her on screen with me. That's right. Radio host of Fresh Start Focus. Guys, make some noise, show some hearts, give a whole bunch of thumbs up for the one, the only TD Lovin. Let me get her in here. Right. She'll be popping on the screen any minute. And of course, get ready for her smile. She has a huge smile. That's right. Ah, that's right. I told you that smile is like life. That smile is life. Oh, guys, if you could see the goosebumps on my arms, guys, you have no clue. You have been gifted something special tonight with this woman here. You've been gifted. She will, with her words, she will find a way to get you to live your purpose. She will use words and to remind you of your greatness, of your greatness that will propel you, to a new life, to see and to take on these challenges with the belief that you can do it. It's not only your mind, it's your body, but it's also your spirit, that she will constantly build you up and to remind you that as you renew your mind to the new truths that you have learned, that you'll see heights, you'll see ways, you'll see concepts and perspectives that you've probably never seen before. Well, guys, I am going to hand it over to her. Let her take over. Let her share her perspectives with you. Guys, I hope you have a pen and piece of paper ready, or just get your emotions ready for all of this. Put your hands together. Send some hearts for TD Lovin'.
Oh, what an introduction, my God. I have to say this. This is my very first time being on an Instagram Live as a guest.
Wow!
My very first time, yes.
That is
Hi, everybody. Guys. Oh, my God. It's such a blessing to be here. I'm excited to talk with you and your listeners tonight. I'm usually behind a screen, and so God is really using you, because this is definitely getting me out of my comfort zone. For those of you watching Fresh Start Focus, well, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I don't know if you did at the very beginning, because I didn't plug in right away, but
I did, but tell them, let them know. Start
okay.
from fresh.
Okay. Well, once again, my name is TD Loving, and I am a certified holistic health practitioner. And in 2014, I had the opportunity to start my own radio show. And the owner of the radio station said, well, what do you I really want you to have a show. And he says, well, what's going to be your focus? I said, it's going to be wellness, because that's my thing, health and wellness and well-being. And so Fresh Start Focus was launched in 2014, November 15th, actually. So I just had an anniversary. And so it's been 6 years that I've been on the air, bringing guests. I have all kinds of guests in the health and wellness field. Sometimes people come and tell their inspirational stories. Everyday people, celebrities, everybody. I will interview anybody who's willing to share their story, because telling your story can bless another person's life. You don't even know how your story can actually inspire someone's life to change. And that's what I love about stories. I was always a storyteller, even as a child, but I also love to listen to stories. So what could I gain? What can I pull out, from this story? And a lot of in the world now, the term is, what did you get the added value? What was the added value for you out of that story? Or what was even more so popular, the term, what's the takeaway? What's the takeaway from this story, right? And so I always try to share stories of people that I interview, so that you can get something from their lives. So that's what I do. So I'm a holistic health practitioner. I have a radio show called Fresh Start Focus. I would love you guys that are watching to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm on Instagram, Fresh Start Focus. I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook page, Fresh Start Focus. And I also have a wellness group. I know this is kind of normally you would say at the end, but I'm just saying it at the beginning.
This is it. This is good. This is all yours. Talk.
And, so I have a private group on Facebook. It's free. There's no cost. It's a health and wellness support group, because trust me, it's a journey to create the wealth and the well-being you want in your life. So we have right now 547 members in the group, and we share ideas, we share information, recipes, we do health challenges, you name it. Right now we're doing a half a gallon to a gallon of water a day. And so we are on day 31. I can't believe it. And I was even breaking out, and I was trying to tell everybody, don't be alarmed, because, you know, as you put water into your body, it's flushing out toxins. And so sometimes you may get a rash or irritation in your skin, but that's normal, because the skin is the largest organ. So as a result, if you're drinking a lot of water, it's going to expel out of the body that way. But anyway, oh my God, there's so much to share. There's so much to share. You had mentioned Pastor Furtick's message this weekend. Oh my God, what was the title? Just slipped my mind. You just
Wasted Rain.
Wasted Rain.
Whoa.
And it's supremely powerful. So if you get a chance to watch it, I second his request in looking it up on YouTube and checking it out. Wow, where do I want to start? Well, a girlfriend of mine who's very close to me, and she's in the weight loss business, and she came to me and for my advice on some areas that she thinks I'm strong in. And she said to me, I want to know what is on the other side of discipline. Whew. What is on the other side of discipline in this particular area in her life? And that thing stuck with me greatly, because we have various areas of our life, right? We have relationships with people, we have our finances, we have our spirituality, we have, we have our health and wellness, exercising, eating right, and relationships. It can go on and on, but there are things that are keys in order to being successful in those areas. And sometimes we are disciplined in one area of our life, but not disciplined in another area. And so when she said to me, I want to know what's on the other side of discipline, that hit me like a ton of bricks, because I'm thinking about my life. And tomorrow's my birthday. I'm not trying to promote it, but it is. And I'm looking back on my life. Thank God black don't crack. Because if you knew how old I was turning tomorrow. I've been here a long time. And I just wanted to say, like, sometimes we have to take a chance on ourselves. And so sometimes taking a chance on ourselves means doing hard things, things that are not easy. And when you take that chance on yourself and start moving forward, it's going to require discipline. But you have to look, thank you for the happy birthday. And you have to go to the other side. So for example, you want to, let's just say you want to get in shape and you want to start running, right? You want to go couch to 5K, if any of you know about that. That's a program that you can start running, right? So you want to start, couch to 5K. Now it's going to require you to get up, get on your gym clothes, put on your running shoes, and begin the process. Now, it may go to the first day that you do it, the second day that you do it. Okay, now you got 4 days in. Now it's the 5th day. You're like, oh Lord, do I want to do this again? But we have to think about our end when we are going through the process. Sometimes we have to see ourselves with the prize in order to motivate us to keep going, because the process will be challenged, but anything that you really want and really desire in this life will be challenged. I don't care who you are. I don't care what profession you're in. I don't care what relationships you're in. I don't care what goals you have in life. You will be challenged. Okay, you say, I want to save $25,000 this year. Let's just use that as a figure. And I know some people, that's their whole yearly salary, but I'm just using that as a number. So now I got to put away a certain amount of money this week. I have to make my lunch because I want to cut out that expense. You know, you may say, you know what, I'm going to ride my bicycle around town instead of using the car because I have to pay gas. But the goal is the $25,000. And so I just am using that as an example, and running the couch to 5K as an examples of there's a process that we have to go through in order to get the prize, to get on the other side of discipline. And I know that for my life, and I know that for everybody else's life. This life is a journey. It's not, it's a journey. People say it's a race. Yes, it's a race, but it's a journey. It is truly a journey. And a lot of people, they give up. They give up. The graveyard is filled with people who gave up on themselves. A matter of fact, the graveyard is full of people who never even gave themselves a chance. And sometimes I work as hard as I do, and even when I mess up, I get up and I brush that dirt off my shoulder like a Jay-Z. You know what I mean? You got to brush it off. And I do that because I also have a daughter who's looking at me. And I know what my mother went through. I know what my grandmother went through. I know what my great grandmothers went through. The line of women that I've come from, very strong Black women who had tough times, who had tough choices. And every time I feel like I want to give up, I remember the dreams that my grandma never fulfilled. I remember the dreams that my mother never fulfilled. And here it is, me, been on the planet many decades now. Many decades. Let me just leave it at many decades now. Black don't. But been here a long time now. And I'm saying to myself, what legacy? I'm at that phase in life. What is the legacy that I'm going to leave behind? And so when I do want to give up, when I do want to throw in the towel, I think about my daughter. I have a son too. But I know my daughter is watching me. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I know my daughter's watching me. And so when I want to give up, when I want to fold, when I want to just throw in the towel, there are many times I wanted to quit my radio show, many times, even the wellness group, I'm like, okay, goodbye, folks. You know, they're just sometimes when the pressures of life can come against you and you're just like, maybe I'm the only person that's ever felt that way, like just
no
walking away from everything. But I realized that I can't give up. I cannot give up because I got a little girl who's 10 years old watching me saying, my gosh, when I grow up, because I want to be like my mom. She doesn't say that to me, but I watch what she does.
Right.
And she's imitating. She's imitating me. She's imitating me. And, that's what children do. They imitate their parents. And anybody that's listening that is a parent, if they think that it's not true, it's absolutely accurate. Children learn more. I don't know why I'm going in this direction. I'm just allowing God to just guide my conversation.
I'm about to jump in with something too. I'm gonna add to what you just shared about.
Yeah, I'm all over the place, so forgive me. But and it's so funny because I'm used to interviewing people, so I'm used to asking questions. So when I'm getting a free hand here, I'm like, okay, where do I want to go with this? But I want to say this, that your children are watching you. If you're a father, your son is watching you. If you have a daughter, your daughter is watching you. And when you decide to have children and people do not understand, your life is not your own anymore. If you are going to be a good parent, and they are watching what you do. If you are a believer in God, like myself, like Rick here, God is watching. We're watching what God does, right? We watch what God does because he's our ultimate parent. I always say God is the ultimate parent. He's watching what we do, and we're watching what he does. And our children want to emulate us. That is, I don't even know how to say it. I mean, one day I had on some lipstick, and my daughter is now at this point 5 years old, and she's like, well, I want to wear some lipstick. I said, no, but you're a little girl. She goes, but mom, you wear lipstick. So, you know, it's the truth. They want to copy you and emulate you. So I can't give up because I got somebody coming behind me. And you know, what excuses I could make. Oh, you know, it's just too hard. It's too difficult. No, I have to just say, you know what, God, strengthen me. Give me the strength to do what I can't do in my own power, with your power, in order to go ahead. Oh yeah, my life, somebody's here saying my life is not my own. It's the truth. When you decide to bring a life into this world, that's it. And I had my
Yeah.
children late. I had my children late. So all the partying and all that hanging out, I had kind of got that. I got that out of my system. I like to have a good time. I do still like to have a good time. Don't get me wrong. I like to have a good time. But I will say this, that I enjoy knowing that I am molding and shaping another person's life. And what I
Yeah.
do matters. What I say matters. My continence, my attitude, my my work ethic, my integrity, my character, it matters because somebody is looking at me to emulate that.
Look,
So,
look, so let me jump in with this.
mhm,
You're hitting things right on the head when it comes to the decisions we make as individuals will have an impact. Will have an impact. Like I said, if you want to start with your kids, if you
mhm,
want to deal with people that just absolutely just to see bits and pieces of your life. See, so often people will talk about social media being this real negative thing, but it's also this really positive thing.
that's
It's
right.
also this really wonderful thing. You know, when I started taking classes, doing those certificates at Yale University, I mean, there's like 14 weeks of study, 10 weeks of study. And it blows my mind when people just hit me up and they just say, Rick, I know you don't know me really well, but I want to thank you. I want to thank you because you got me to go back to school. Like I'm now taking the courses that you took. Like,
Wow.
like who knew that me just endeavoring to do something new, like this COVID hit, and I didn't want to be the same me when this was over. I didn't want to be the same me. This is all this time. What am I going to do with it?
Deal with it.
What am I going to do with it? So when I think about a specific client who was struggling with considering maybe going back with her ex, which was dealt with drugs, dealt with abuse.
Yeah.
You know, when you're thinking about those things, and I just had the opportunity today, just today, to remind her not to talk about her ex, but to hit it from the perspective that the decisions you make is going to affect your daughter. It's
That's right.
going to impact your children. That
Yes.
if you are not joyful, if you're not at peace, if you are not living the calling, if you're not pursuing those purposes, if you're not doing that, the universe is not aligning and pulling things, or God is not utilizing the universe to pull things to happen positively in your life. It's going to bleed into your kids. Your kids see your life. You might want to go back to those old things because there is some comfort in familiarity. There's some comfort in that. But if that familiar thing always led to you being disappointed, underappreciated, hurt, physically abused,
Mhm.
what are you going back to? What are you teaching your kids?
It's
What are
true.
you showing your kids? What's acceptable? When you think about what's on the other side of discipline, what's on the other side of discipline, for you, it's the unknown. But you have to believe that if you were faithful enough to start it and consistent enough to get the results, that it has to be something you have never experienced before in your life. And
True.
if you have had past greatness, you better believe that at least it's going to be the greatest of your past greatnesses. It's going to be the greatest of your past greatnesses. If you
Yes.
dare to believe.
Dare to believe.
If you dare to
Anything,
believe.
anything is possible, and it's funny. I need to say this because your limits. And maybe because I'm getting older, but the limits that we truly have are in our mind. Anything. When I say anything is possible, anything is possible. Now I'm going to blow my own spot up. Okay. So I started this radio show at the age of 45. How long I said I've been on the air?
6 years.
That's 6 years. Okay, so that's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
telling you right now. Okay, so I also had my first child. I'm going to go back. I'm going to tell you some things that I've done in my life that I was told that was impossible. All these limitations, all these things that, that were put on me. And I said, oh no, you don't get to tell me who I am and where I'm going. I got married late. I had my first child at 39 years old. I had my child with a midwife. No drugs, no nothing, no epidural, nothing, zero. 39 years old. I had my first child. Oh, you're high risk. Really? I'm high risk? No, I'm not. I determine what my body is going to do and what my life. I refuse to accept the title of high risk. I had my son, first child. I did a course called hypnobirthing. Anybody out there having babies, recommend it to your friends because it works. It's a holistic way of doing, meditation and mind power in order to have babies without drugs and to shorten your time of labor. So my old doctor, who I had been with for many years, since I was 17, so I'm now 38 years old, I'm having a baby, I'm thinking, ooh, he's going to deliver this baby. Well, once I found out this other direction that I could go in, I said, oh, I think this is the better direction for me. So I had to make a hard decision and leave my doctor and go with the midwives and this whole process. He told me, my doctor said, it's going to take you minimum of 16 hours to have this baby. I said, oh, no, it's not. I said, I found this class, hypnobirthing, and it says that I can have a baby in a short period of time. Well, first sign of labor to birth, 8 hours. First child at 39. So anybody that has had a baby out there, that is not a long time to be in labor. 8 hours. First child.
I know you're about to have some women chime in now and log their hours. They're about to hit you with their hours. Because I know some people that had labor 36, 30 hours, 32 hours.
30, and that was at 39. So at 41, I decided to have another baby. So it's my daughter. First sign of, and she's born underwater, by the way. She's a water baby. So she was born in a pool under the water. She said, they told me, how do you want to have this baby? I said, I want to do a water birth. And I did my hypnobirthing again. So guess what? First sign of labor to birth, 6 hours. I almost had the baby in the house because I was like, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. By the time I got to the birthing center, I left my house at 11:52. My baby was born at 11:52 a.m. My daughter was born at 1:12 p.m. So God knows I almost had the child.
Your TD Lovey, are you seeing these hours coming in?
The hours, yes.
That's right. 39 hours, 48. That's a movie, 48 hours.
48 hours.
All right, so
Yes.
I want you to start to wrap up some of you because I want to give some of these women a chance to join us online because I'm sure I could get one or two to jump in and share their thoughts also. So go.
Okay. So basically what I'm saying, so I had these children in a way that I was told you are high risk. This is the point I'm trying to make. You cannot let people determine your life. You have to choose how you're going to live your life. And I made a choice that I'm not going to allow other people to put limitations on me because of my age, because of my sex, because of my race. I refuse. And it has served me well, because as a man thinketh, so is he. That's what the word of God says. As you think, so as you are. So I never classified myself as high risk. I never classified myself as having difficult, babies or pregnancies at that age. And I had those 2 babies, no drugs, both times with midwives. And the second one was a water birth. Literally, my little girl was in the water before they put her on, took her out and brought it to me, so,
Wow.
or put her on me. So I am just, at 45, I started a radio show. I don't have a background in radio. I did a little radio show in college, but literally God put this in my lap. And at age 45 also, I became a stand-up comedian. A lot of people don't know this. I do stand-up comedy. I decided to do stand-up comedy. And in 2018, I opened for Major Hype. If you guys are familiar with Major Hype, he's a Caribbean comedy king, and I do Caribbean comedy. I'm from Jamaica originally. So and now that boop, boop, and now I'm a comedian. So I had my children when they told me I couldn't, started a radio show at 45, started doing stand-up comedy at 45. Oh, matter of fact, I joined a band later that year. So now I sing in a band, which I still do sing in a band. And I'm doing all of these things that were told to me, oh, what are you're too old to be doing this. No, do not let anybody limit you. Only God knows your true destiny in this life. But if you listen to people, you will be led astray. You better listen to the voice of God, and you better listen to what God is speaking to you in your heart, inside your heart. Okay? Do not listen to people. You don't know the motives of other people when they tell you you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't be this. I tell people all the time, do what you feel in your heart and do not put limitations on yourself. And that's one tip.
That's that right there. Wow, that's life-giving right there. That's life-giving. Now, let me give you the flip side of that. The flip side of the last part you shared about people telling you that you can't do something. Well, I've been blessed and fortunate with people constantly telling me that I can do. And part of that, and part of the wasted rain teaching that you're going to get, all of you going to go back and listen to, was the part about not appreciating what people were telling me. Not appreciating the value that the people that would tell me about myself, the value that I had for them was so great. How was I not adhering to the things and appreciating them telling me how wonderfully I'm made, how unique I am in a particular calling? How am I not? Like, I would actually push back, like don't say good things about me, and I would feel a particular way about it. Or you hear it so often that it no longer impacts your life like it should. Now, come on, TD, you know that. You grew up doing those videos and starring in videos. You've been hearing good things about you for a long time. Come on. So after a while, it's like normal conversation to you, and you devalue it. Just like the rain, God is constantly showering you with the word, and it's so accessible to you. It's so accessible that you don't fully appreciate. You don't fully appreciate it. And that was me for a long time. Long time until
I agree. And sometimes some of those things come from our upbringing. My parents are old school, and I'm going to be honest with you, like my mom and my dad, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for this because my dad
is about to get a beating.
About to get a beating. But I don't remember my parents telling me that I was beautiful growing up. I don't ever remember them saying that. And so they would say you're smart. They would say you're smart. So when people would compliment me, because obviously I model. So, so when people were complimenting me, it didn't resonate. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah, definitely.
if your parents don't tell you something, how, so you're a stranger. So why should I believe you're a stranger? Why should I believe you over
Over.
my parents? And
Yeah.
so I had to learn to, and when I say my parents didn't, I don't remember my parents telling me that. My mother, and I'm grateful that for that. My mother emphasized on developing inner beauty, which is where I focus my attention. But you can go around feeling that you are physically ugly if no one ever tells you,
That you're
or the
beautiful.
people that love you, the people, your parents, if they never tell you that, how do you know? You know what I mean? That you have the inner and the outer, and so my daughter, I always joke around, I have to pick up her, I mean, hold up her head with a crane than pick up her head off the floor.
Beautiful.
And the esteem, and I don't blame them because, who affirmed them? I don't know if I know my
That's
parents'
right. That's
story,
right.
and I don't think they were affirmed by their parents. So, I look back and, when you're young, you blame your parents like, oh my God, why they didn't do this and why they didn't do that. But then if you really look at their story, who was there for them? Who
Right.
supported them?
How else could they have showed up for you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
How else could they do that? So I pour a lot into my kids. My kids say affirmations every single day. And I'll
Mm.
just share, if you don't mind if I share a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because I want someone to jump on. Guys, matter of fact, as she shares this last bit, if you want to come on screen with us, can you send me a request right now? If you're willing to come on screen and share some aspect of what we've been sharing or some truth, send me a request right now so she could finish up this and then I can invite you on screen with us. But if there's no one that's willing to share, I'll let her keep on talking. So if you want to join us on screen and add an element to this, because I know I have some really dynamic people on tonight. So maybe I can get one to put their hair up in a bun or something and come on screen with me for a second. Give me the
And
affirmation. Give
and
us the
and
affirmation.
and before I start, I just want to say one thing. The greatest thing you could ever do for your children is develop yourself. Become the best you that you could possibly be. And then your children will emulate you because your children do what they see, not what you say. Okay. And as much as these affirmations are powerful, which I'm going to say, the greatest thing I could ever do for my son and daughter is become the best TD loving on the planet, because they will glean and they will emulate that in their own personal way. And also too, in relationships, we get into relationships with a man or a woman, we are looking for them to develop in us, which they don't have the responsibility to do. The best thing you could ever do for your partner, your lover, your husband, your wife, your spouse, is become the best you. Become the best you can be, so you can have something to share and offer instead of looking for somebody to be a band-aid and your savior. There is only one savior in this world. And if you put that person first, whoever I believe in God, I'm not, whatever you believe in, put that power first and develop become the best you. And then not only will you be able to share that, if you're not in a relationship, you'll be able to attract a relationship from the place of power, not from a place of weakness and neediness.
And
Because
neediness.
what happens is after you get healed, then you don't need them anymore because you drew them for the wrong reasons. That's a word.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a
That's
whole nother.
Yeah, no, but that right there. Like,
Okay.
people fully don't understand. We don't. I'm including myself because in life I still make poor decisions. We don't
Yeah.
fully understand the importance of showing up the best version of yourself to show up. You would rather someone reject the real you than the you pretend to be.
Come on now.
Because so often we will try to act or say or do a particular thing in a way that we think someone else will be like appealing to them, but we don't know their story. We don't know what
True.
they've been through. You don't know what their true core needs. People could come up to you and say particular things, but that's not really what they mean. That's not really what they desire. You know, I'm doing like couples relationship conversations with couples, and one person saying, you know, I love love, the concept of I loving love. But when he is in a relationship, he acts as if he hates love.
Mm-hmm.
He acts in such a destructive way that if you really love love, you wouldn't do what you were doing, constantly
Exactly.
breaking up, constantly saying venomous words, constantly speaking from a position of trying to take his power back. Instead
Because
of understanding you're already power, you're already filled, you are already love.
exactly. And that's the thing. We are looking for love in all the wrong places. That love, you know, people say, the Bible says, love your neighbor as you love yourself. But you know what, Rick? And I have to say it, most people really don't love themselves. And this is the core issue of relationship problems.
Well,
People do not love themselves. And guess what? So I'm looking for you to love me, but I don't even love me. So I'm expecting you to give me something that I don't
I'm not
even
even doing
have
my thing. That's
within.
right.
That is
You're
insanity. I've done it. I've done, hey, I'm
Yeah,
guilty just like
you are demanding from the other person that which you don't even do for yourself. You're demanding from the person that you love that I want you to treat me better than
that I
I
treat
treat myself.
myself.
Oh,
Hello,
TD boy, you ain't your birthday's when?
tomorrow.
What?
And I
You
want to say thank you for everybody that said happy birthday. That was so sweet. Thank you.
yeah,
Thank you
like
for the
look,
birthday
like
wishes. Yeah,
this is
that's real talk, and people don't want to talk about that. Everybody make me feel good, make me look good. Everybody's looking for somebody to give
to
something. Love is about, I mean, to get something. Love is about giving.
giving. Yes,
And a
love.
lot of times, if we don't deal with the brokenness that comes from a lot of this childhood trauma, we bring it into the relationship. Oh God, be my mother, be my father, fix my band-aids, fix my wound. That is not the responsibility for another person.
Nope.
We just, you know, we want to grab, but we don't want to give. And but if you take the time to become a whole person, then when the relationship comes up, it's a compliment. It is an adding to your life. It's not your whole life.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not
not.
your whole life. I never forget about um, the woman in the Bible, Ruth. Was it the one who married Boaz?
Yeah,
Ruth,
Ruth. Yep,
Boaz.
Ruth.
Do you know what Ruth was doing when Boaz found her? She was
She well,
working.
yeah, she put herself in a position to be found. She worked his fields.
She worked his field. She was working. She was working. She was doing something for herself. He
Yeah,
eventually benefited from it, but she was working for
that's
herself. She was
right.
doing things for herself. But a lot of times when people come in relationships with broken relationships with mother or father, it's the truth. You're looking for this person to fulfill this place that your father or your mother needed to fulfill. And this is why therapy is good, counseling is good,
Yeah,
self-development is good. I'm a big proponent of that because if you put that responsibility on another person, it's not going to go well. And it's going to be a very unhealthy situation. I know we're all
yeah.
over tonight. I don't went from talking about having babies.
No, but no, you understand. Look, someone's even saying they want a part two. They want a part two of this. That is right. That's
Yeah,
Fatima. What's
see?
up, Fatima? Yeah. Because
Yeah.
because this is real core stuff. When I sit with clients and I'll take them through a 5 session course. And my first session is getting them to first define what love is. You know, I'll give you some of the insight, like what is love? And part of what is love is how did your mother How do you see your mother loving you, and how do you think she felt about that? How do you see your dad loving you, and how do you think your dad felt about loving you?
It's true.
Like, because who we are today, we need to be 30 years old, 40 years old, and 50 years old. We are still living the wounds of our childhood. We're still living the wounds, our bad habits of a childhood.
It's just true.
Now, once again, notice I said bad habits. That doesn't mean that you had a bad childhood. Doesn't
Right.
mean that you went through rough times, because my
Right.
parents were amazing. But yet, because my mom was so sick often, that I grew up with the feeling of abandonment, that I was left alone a lot or shipped off to other people's houses for X amount of time. So I
Mm-hmm.
grew up with that hang up. Will people actually stay? And that was a hang up for me.
It's
You know,
true.
and you don't, and I didn't discover that until I did a 9-week therapy relationship course with someone where they were sitting down with me and talking to me about specific details that I was showing. I was clearly showing these things. So
Okay.
it was powerful that to understand that if you want to succeed in any aspect of your life, you gotta tell someone. You gotta invite someone into your circle. You gotta dare to go get help from someone that's actually doing it. You know, when you talked about all things are possible, I always say according to God's will for your life. All things are
Right.
possible according to God's will for your life.
Of
So
course.
yes, you can go to school, but what's more impactful? You going to school or you going and tying yourself to someone that's actually living your dream for a year? Tie yourself to them for a year. Be their helper, be their gopher. Sit under their wings and watch how they live the life that you want to
Live.
live.
And I can share that. That's how I did a holistic health. This girl, Natalia, a woman, her name is Natalia Rose. And I admire this woman so much. I took a course in New York and I asked her, I literally went up to her and asked her, can I be your apprentice? Can I assist you when you're doing your seminars? And I did. I was her apprentice. And as a result, I ended up becoming a holistic health practitioner based on the experience I had with her, because I was like, oh, I want to do what she does. And I eventually went to school. I went to the school that she graduated from, talking about somebody influencing you. And then I
Right.
went to another school. I've gone to a few schools, to
Columbia
get my
Columbia
credentials.
University,
I know, Columbia University.
Syracuse. I'm just going to
I'm
throw those out there.
I'm in school right now. I'm actually in school right now. The same thing
God
you
bless
said.
you.
I was like, you know what? When I come out of this pandemic, I want to have something different than when I started. And I've got 2 more weeks left for school. And when I graduate, I will be a certified gut specialist. I was, when you go to school, become a practitioner, it's like a doctor. You get that, and then you decide what areas do I want to specialize in. And I decided that I wanted to, I've done various things, but I wanted to specialize in gut health. And so,
1 minute left. 1 minute. No,
yeah.
go. You specialize good. Finish it up. 1 minute.
Oh,
1 minute.
no. Just specialize in gut health. So what I'm saying, I did the same thing you did. I'm trying to use this pandemic time wisely and to develop myself.
Now, I know you guys have been moved by her sharings. Tell them once again where they can find you, because we have about 1.5 minutes before it's going to cut off, because this is Instagram Live.
Instagram.
So tell them where they can find you and how to be a part of your movement.
Okay, so on Instagram, it's just Fresh Start Focus. On Facebook, it's Fresh Start Focus. I have a Twitter, Fresh Start Focus, but I'm not really on there a lot. But then we have a group on Facebook. If you're on Facebook, it's called Fresh Start Focus, Fresh Start Focus Inner Circle. And it's a free health and wellness support group. We are over 500 strong, almost at 550. People love it. Rick is a part of the group. He can tell you about it. People love it. We share a lot of information, and it's really a support group. It really is. People feel supported, and it's a non-judgmental environment.
Absolutely. Well, TD Lovin, thank you. Thank you. People are already asking for a part two, so I'm going to have to figure something out to get you back in. Well, first, happy birthday. Just want to say happy birthday to you.
Thank
Guys,
you.
I'm hoping in shows later that I can get more people jumping in on screen and sharing their perspective. But this right here was a diamond. You shared some things. You call it jumping all over the place, but I call it God using you to pull up roots that people have been digging in and holding fast as if it is the truth in their life. You have caused people to be liberated tonight by your words, by your story, by your sharing. You have to understand that we only know what we know. But if we
True.
were to hear a new
Yeah.
way, it has to spring forth if we dare to live it. It's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to do it. If you dare to now live it, expect great things.
Yes.
What do you have to lose? If
Yeah.
you've seen a life that's been rough, what do you have to lose by just fully trying it your way?
Yeah.
Fully being yourself. Now, understand, I'll close with this, that being yourself sometimes means pushing people away. Sometimes being your true self will change your environment. And it's not always comfortable because some people you just love because of their character. But to save yourself, to achieve this great thing, let them see your love from a distance. Let them
Mm.
see you from a distance because that's what's best for your life, for you to show up as the best version of yourself. Don't constantly lean back on people that have kept you or helped to make you the you that you are today, especially if there's areas of your life you want improvement. Dare to search new perspectives, new ventures. Like if you didn't read books, now start reading books to get information about how to love or how to deal with situations. If you never dared to speak out about the things you've been going through, start to speak out now. Dude, that's how you practically apply all the stuff that we're talking about here.
Yes.
Set up a plan. Organize a daily schedule where you can write things out and make sure that not only that you're faithful in something, but you're consistent in something. Because faithfulness will get you to the place where you make a decision to do something, but it's consistency that gives you the results, gives you the deep desires of your heart. Because when motivation ends, dedication kicks in.
Sin. It's like my friend said to me, I'll never forget her words. I want to know what it is like on the other side of discipline. And it's like discipline is the bridge. It's the bridge between thought and accomplishment. And I have some things, some new things that I'd like to do and I'd like to try. And I want to know what the other side looks like
Yeah. On the other side of the through.
on the other side. Yes. Well, that's awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Guys, if you love what you heard tonight, give her a whole bunch of hearts right now. Give us some thumbs up. Let her know that you were feeling all the things she shared tonight. That's it. You're leaving your mark. What a way to end a year. You're about to start a new one tomorrow. What a way to end a year for you.
Yes. Amen.
Well,
Yes.
Heavenly Father, in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, we want to give you praise and thanks just for another amazing sharing that you have filled us with power from on high. You have led our words and our heart and our perspectives in a direction that you see fit for tonight, that we are touching lives, that we're moving people, that we are using our lives as an example of your love, of your power, of your strength, of your ability, of your willingness to take care of your dear children. So, Father, thank you for this opportunity in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Yes, this is a wonderful way to end the end of our chapter on to the next. That's
That's
what I'm
it.
talking about. I'm going in blazing on this birthday.
All
I
right.
did
Well,
post,
guys, go
yes.
ahead. Go say, say, say,
No,
say,
I
say,
said I
say.
did something new. My first IG live ever.
On the GunterMan show. On the
I'm done
GunterMan
doing
show.
stuff.
That is it. Well, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you so, so much. Guys, of course, please join her, Fresh Start Focus, Instagram, Fresh Start Focus, Facebook, and of course, Fresh Start Focus Inner Circle. Now, you'll have to send a request to be a part of that. But yes, you're hearing what she's about. So allow to join the journey. Allow her to be a part of your journey. Allow her to be a part of your journey. You know, this is what we're about. It's not a sprint. This is a journey.
It's a
And
journey.
oh, what a journey it is.
Sure is.
Good night, everybody. We're going to say good night. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Be well, be well. Thanks a lot.